Chat, hello, welcome. This is so hype. We're gonna watch the Cairns Cup because Alice Lee and Carissa are playing, and Alice just gave up her queen and Carissa is winning. It's so hype. So, okay, hold on. There we go. So this is the position. We'll go back through it because I had to start late, but we're here now. But this is what's happening. So here's the stakes. This is so sick. I usually don't follow top level chess, but the story of this is just so awesome because it's the last round of the Cairns Cup. Okay, Carissa is ahead in the tournament. She's leading the tournament by half a point. Alice Lee is half a point behind her. If Carissa wins, she wins the tournament and she gets her second GM norm. If she draws, she also wins the tournament and gets her second GM norm. But Alice has to win in order to win the tournament and get her first GM norm. And they're paired together in the last round, the only two Americans. So today, for some of the only time ever, I'm full on. We're only watching this game. We don't care about any of the other ones. We're just USA. All right. This is awesome. Okay, so here's what's happening. I've missed some because I had to get my stream figured out. Yeah, Carissa does have a GM norm. I forget where she earned it. It's like I think it was from winning like a championship. Junior championship? I forget which one. But Alice does not have a norm. But she will get it, even if it's not today. I believe they'll both become grandmasters. So okay, let's go back because oh my gosh, Chris is down so much on time. Let's go through what happened. E4, I don't know anything about this opening, so I was just listening to the commentators. It's a 4 knights, I guess. I don't know. This is like theory. Who knows what's happening? Okay, but this was the moment where apparently this is like a deviation. Like, not a lot of people play this move. Gives white like a slight advantage with the rook moving over. I don't really know why. This is the kind of high-level commentary you're gonna get here. If you want actual high-level commentary, go watch the St. Louis Chess Club stream. But this is all we have. 4 Knights Scotch. Alright, chat knows more than me. It's a quiet line. Yeah, so, well, interestingly, what they were talking about at the beginning was they were kind of expecting Alice to play the Sicilian. And they were very surprised when she played e4, e5. And so clearly this is like some prep that she'd done because she was playing quite fast, and you can see she's up a lot on time already, even though now she has a worse position. But Carissa's really good against the Sicilian, so obviously Alice like wants to mix it up. But there's so much like psychology at play here, right? Because Alice has to play for a win if she wants the norm and if she wants to win the tournament. Carissa is happy for the quiet line where she can just get a draw. But anyway, Rook E1 was played. On the broadcast, in case you weren't watching, Yasser Sarawan was saying that he didn't really like this move because he kept wanting lines where this rook on F1 could support like an F4 pawn push in the event of like later, like this bishop comes out. And just to get to this position. Okay, so like, yeah. G5 is played. The bishop is going to come back. But now if this rook was here, it would support this move, and then you're breaking down the structure in front of the king. There's more that goes into it, but that's like the gist. But I'm sitting here like, why not just take this? But I guess you don't want to lose the bishop pair. But I guess they both have the bishop pair. I didn't really understand that. But also, they kept talking about like this move, Which I guess, yeah, this obviously this bishop is going to be stronger than the knight, so you don't just want to trade it off. Because black already has doubled pawns, and yeah, you want to move this bishop, and then this pawn becomes a weakness, and yada yada, so. Anyway, knight back. And then this move was also surprising to see. It's a pawn sack, but after takes, the rook, brilliant move, can actually take. Because if this rook captures, then bishop h7 check, you're winning the queen because this rook is no longer on the back rank defending. So that's a nice one. And I think this was played. Wait, reload board? Okay. Yes, this was played. Alice went bishop e6. Queen f3. This is where I kind of lost what was happening, so we might need to figure out what's going on. And then, okay, yeah. Rook d1, lining up with the queen, and then similar idea of like this discovered attack. Like obviously that's what Carissa is going for here. But Alice allows the discovered attack. And basically she takes the two pieces for the queen, the rook and the bishop, and you know, maybe there's something here. I don't know. Okay, so what was the best move in this position? Because Carissa played rook to e2. What was better? b3. Huh? What? And then this? That seems crazy to me. Why would you give up an exchange? Is that pawn just so valuable that you can't afford to lose it? That's so interesting. On the broadcast, they said she had to go back bishop d6. Wait, where? Oh, here. Yeah, to block all this shenanigans. Yeah, that does make sense. This rook just seems so like out in the middle of nowhere and nothing, and it's not defended, and it's scary to me. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, and just prevent this. I guess this makes sense. And like, you're up a queen, you're probably fine to do this kind of thing. And also, this is Carissa. Like, obviously they can't see that the eval bar is like this, but like, worst case scenario, she doesn't mind a draw. And with a queen on the board, you can often just like check into oblivion. You know, obviously in an ideal world, she's not going to play for a draw, but... Okay, so what actually happened? Rook takes b2. Let me refresh the board so it looks nice. And then queen e4 check. King goes back. Queen takes that pawn. Rook b4. Okay, so queen takes, right? Defending this knight, which is under attack. Not that Alice wants to trade off the bishop pair, but just, you know, still gotta save your knight. Okay, and this is the current position. So Carissa's on the clock thinking. So the time control is, it's like the weird, you get extra time after 40 minutes one. Or not after, after 40 moves, you get extra time. You get an extra 30 minutes, I believe. Okay, queen c5. I'm really confused what rook b4 does. What is like the idea of this? Was it a top move? Okay, there's a few top moves. Gosh, this is... I'm so surprised this isn't so much better for white, because as black, I would be freaking terrified to be down a queen. But you know what? Alice is a better chess player than I am. She's probably fine. So now what? We're attacking this and this. Top engine move according to my Stockfish 17.1 light at a depth of 21, which is probably not that good, because otherwise my computer will fry itself, is A5. And what if I take it? Huh? Oh, this. Oh, so I'm not actually attacking this pawn, because I need to defend this. Or I don't. Carissa does. I'll leave it to her. So A5, just defending this. And you can't take this because you have this. I'm such a good chess commentator. You can't take on C7 because the bishop defends the rook going to C8. And now it's just equal again. And you just have to take this and GG. I wonder if you take this and then you go... Ooh, this is kind of nice. It's still a draw, but... White's up a pawn. I mean, I definitely prefer white here, but I mean, I guess you have like... Yeah, what does black even do? Here? You can just move the knight? Oh, you can't really move the knight. I see. So you're eventually gonna win this pawn. Oh, knight e4. Sure. This? I mean, I don't know. I don't think this is gonna happen though. I mean, that was a silly line. She's just not gonna take this pawn. So now Alice has time to think. Unless she wants to keep Carissa on the clock. They're only 24 moves in, so they have a long time before time control. I guess not that long. They have like 15 moves till time control. But I mean, these players, I've never played in that specific time control where you get extra time on the 40th move, but I mean, they're basically playing blitz at the end sometimes. Anyway, how's it going, guys? I haven't really been paying attention to chat. What's new? Any new fun chess accomplishments people would like to share? Hey DBL Click, thanks so much for the bits. Your middle game sucks. Oh no, the chess logo is like right on top of it. That's fine. I don't... Okay. There's so many boxes that I don't know what's happening on OBS. J Mastermind, you hit 2200. That's sick. I'm still working on it. If we have time after this game, I'll play some rapid games. And keep working towards it. I honestly haven't played any rapid since last stream. My chess has kind of been taking a back seat recently. But I've been doing decent in tournaments. I'm actually going to a tournament in... Wait, are they repeating? No. Oh, I thought I missed a move for some reason. What was I saying? Oh, I'm going to a tournament in a couple weeks. Which I kind of registered for at the last minute. But I finally get to play real classical, which is 90 plus 30, which I haven't played in so long. So I'm pretty psyched for it. But I haven't really been working on my chess, so I might do kind of bad, but that's okay. It'll be fun. Okay, so besides a5, what is the other move here? I guess there's a few. Rook f4 is an option. Rook f4. Okay. Okay. Maybe I'm just dumb, but the one I was thinking of was this. Okay, that's not too bad. It doesn't hate it. I mean, White's still winning here, but like with this idea... I guess you just have the time to move the knight? No, you don't. Queen e7 is what it wants. Queen e7 or queen takes a7. Oh, because you blocked this, so now you can take one of those pawns. Okay, but what if I go like here? Nope, that's bad. Oh, you can't go there, obviously. Obviously, there's two rooks looking at that square. This one is what I meant. Oh, that's also bad. Rook b1 check. Rook b1 check. Why is this so good? Rook d5. Oh. Wait, why can't you go rook d5 right away? Oh, because the rook is hanging. Oh, that's smart. Man. That's crazy. Yeah, Yip and Lee. Two of your favorite juniors. They're so awesome. And I don't even know which one I'm rooting for because Alice is from Minnesota, which is close to where I live. It's the next state over. Has generally better chess scene and better politics. And Carissa is closer to my age. And she goes to Harvard, I believe, which is where I kind of also go. Remotely. So there, you know what? There's a connection to both. They're both very well accomplished. I'm still kind of fascinated by this line. So what if this... I guess what this knight is doing is that it's preventing either of these checks, which is interesting. So probably that's why rook e1 was better back when she moved the rook. This move. Like rook e1 here, if anything. Oh, it's still not great. That's so interesting that you win a queen, but your follow-up has to be like so unbelievably perfect. The only other... Okay, I guess there's a few other moves, but like b3 is what it wants to give up the exchange. Rook takes e6, giving up the exchange again. Or this, which I assume is going to be followed by rook takes e6, giving up the exchange and also winning a pawn. No? Oh, now b3. Or h4. Yeah, man, h4. Let's play h4. Carissa moved to St. Louis. Oh wait, yeah. Did she go to Harvard though? Now I'm curious. I thought I saw that she was like a Harvard student. Hang on. Clearly I don't keep up with the times. Wait, who goes to Harvard? It says she went to Stanford. Or she goes to Stanford. Am I crazy? She had a Boston sweatshirt on. I don't know. Somebody else figure this out for me. Let's go to the live position. Yeah, this next one will be very telling about like how Alice is gonna try and come back from this. Oh, she's from Massachusetts. Oh. And she went to Stanford. Okay, I swear there's somebody else. There's another chess person that goes to Harvard. How do I figure this out? It's Jennifer Yu. That's who I was thinking of. I got them mixed up. That's my bad. Jennifer Yu goes to Harvard. Another strong American. She's not a junior anymore, but. Yeah, we got there. Massachusetts has a strong chess culture. I will be going out there at some point, and I'm hoping to have some time to check out the chess culture. I do wish I lived in a bigger city sometimes that like had tournaments on the regular and just like had stronger players. Like our strongest player in North Dakota is a 1900, which I mean he's good. They're good. I do think a lot of North Dakota players are underrated because they only play tournaments like, you know, a couple times a year, if that. But yeah, the GM prize. Well, that's what Carissa's going for now. That is why I remember now. That is why she moved to St. Louis, because she's going after I think it's like the Cairns prize, if I'm not mistaken. I'm clearly so well educated on all this. But yeah, there's like a bounty basically for women to get the GM title, like the actual GM title, which is hype. Yeah, I would love to go to New York and check out like the Marshall and all the hustlers in the park. It looks sick. But I mean, I'm luckily pretty close to like I've been to some Minnesota tournaments and they have a pretty good chess culture. Like John Bartholomew lives in Minnesota. I mean, Alice is from Minnesota. Not that she ever really plays there anymore, but it's where she came up. I think. Now I'm just like questioning that I know anything about these players. Because like I was mistaking where Carissa was living right now. Just looking at some other variations. Oh, this is a move. I wasn't too far off. What does white do with a5, by the way? I think I only looked at this, which obviously is not going to happen. Queen e7. Now... Now what? Rook of BB8. Gosh, this is complicated. You probably have to move your knight. Now, check maybe? Okay, this is forcing. Bishop e5 check. I mean, these pieces aren't amazingly coordinated. I guess they kind of are. You can kind of start to force the trades. But the bishop pair is a little scary. I'm trying to find ways for Alice to make a comeback, because it would be hype. But I will also be happy if Carissa wins, because, I mean, she, like, if you watch the broadcast, she has, like, a documentary crew following her around. It's so sick. Oh my gosh, chess pawn, that's so funny. I'm always afraid of doing stuff like that where I just like won't recognize like somebody that I'm at a big tournament with because I just haven't been in the chess scene that long. And so I just like don't know everybody and I don't know their faces. Like I might even know their names, but it was definitely a big fear of mine. I'm sure most people don't care. Man, at this rate, we might have time just to like play a blitz game before Alice makes a move. Oh, don't do that. Misclicked. My mouse skills are clearly not prepared for me to play my own game. Oh. There's only so much I can analyze. Did we go through everything? Rook f4. That was the only other one. Okay, what happens if rook f4? Now it wants king h2 or rook e4. Ooh, really? Rook e4? I don't love that. Can't you just take this? Oh, I guess you have this first. Okay. That's fair. It would be different if this bishop could like drop back with a check or something, but it can't. Yeah, I like this, but that it's not even the top move. King h2 is. I don't know. I really like rook e4. It also likes knight e4, but you start to lose your advantage a little bit. I think you kind of have to try and trade some things off. Like at least trade the rook off, you know? Bishop d4, d4. What? Oh. Oh. Wait, yeah. Wait, what do you do now? You have to play rook takes d4 and give up the exchange. Rook f takes. See, I don't like this whole giving up the exchange thing. I don't love that. Hey, Rat Bandit. What's up, y'all? Yeah, they have just insane calculation skills. I have found just by looking at a bunch of Carissa's games, is that she has such a proclivity to just like find these brilliant sacks. just in any position. I mean, even in this game, she sacked a pawn. She, like, going back to this, well, I mean, it really started here, where she pushed e5 and gave up basically a rook, but I mean, obviously you're not going to take it. And just gets this insanely strong position. It's just, yeah, it's really incredible. Strong players, man. Beyond me. Beyond us. Oh, we calculated this. No, no, no. I was talking this line. It's liking that less and less. It really likes king h2, but I just don't like being on this diagonal. Here, here. Why not just this move? Why does this not work? Bishop f2 check. Sure. Sure, you win a pawn. Sure, what's the problem with that? Now rook takes, and gosh, I hate these king moves. King g8? Carissa's playstyle is to get a worse but interesting position out of the opening and then go crazy. Honestly, it's kind of been working. Was that the game yesterday where she was worse out of the opening but then had a comeback? It's hype. I mean, all of her games except one in this tournament have been decisive. And she's still, meaning that she has lost more games than Alice has, because Alice has gotten like 3 or 4 draws. I think 3 draws. And so, like, it's like she's always somehow is going for the win. And if she loses, like, that's just how, that's how the chess pieces fall sometimes. But definitely exciting. Not that Alice doesn't play exciting chess. I mean, if you listen to her calculate, she's also finding insane things. But yeah, Carissa just does have this proclivity. Wait, did she play this? No, 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 she didn't. We were calculating this, 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 and why this doesn't work. Rook d2 seems more human to me. So the bishop pair is just so strong, I guess. Okay, let me humor the engine here. What if king g8? Like, now it's just this kind of thing. Like, what if I go like what if I go here? Bishop d4. So I guess the idea is you don't want this situation with whatever, a4. You don't want this. Oh, it's probably actually, it's worse than that because of this. Oh, what? Wait, why? Oh, okay. That's why I didn't like king g8 chess.com. I knew there was a reason. Rook d7. And this. Yeah, because you just can't prevent things like this. Interesting. Man, okay, Alice has tanked so much on time. She's at, I mean, when we started the stream, she still had like 50 minutes on the clock. I predict this is gonna get into some time trouble because the position is still not entirely clear, I would say. Like, Carissa still has to be extremely accurate And if Alice finds just a few right moves, I mean, it's just back to a draw. Which, to be fair, Carissa is still fine with in the tournament situation. Because if you miss the start, she will get a GM norm and win the tournament, Carissa will, if she draws or wins this game. Alice has to win this game in order to surpass Carissa in the standings and also get her first GM norm. But this will be Carissa's second GM norm. Was the recent insane game where you sacked a rook to crush your opponent? Was it in this tournament or a different one? 'Cause, to be fair, I haven't really been following the actual games of this tournament. I've just been following the results. Because listen, nobody got time to follow high-level chess. I mean, come on. Months ago. It does seem tough to get winning chances as black here. Yeah, I think Alice is probably using her time to come to terms with that, honestly. I think, I mean, they both know the stakes of this game. But to be fair, she does still have chances. The thing about chess is you always have to be hopeful. You always have to believe up until everything about the position tells you otherwise that there's a chance that you can win. And frankly, a draw would also be a good result for her. It just wouldn't give her a GM norm. But I mean, she's played great in this tournament. We should look at the, can we look at the standings? Or the, how do we look at the pass? There we go. You guys see? Kinda. Also, what are happening in the other games? They are all kind of drawn except for this one where Bibisara is winning. Oh, I hope Humpy doesn't lose again. That's so sad. I think she was the favorite coming into this. Or I guess Han Zhongyi was also. Which she is also not doing very well. Which is too bad. But not doing well, interestingly, it's like the difference in points is not insane. There's been a lot of draws. Like it's a very, I would say, pretty close tournament. Maybe I just don't watch enough high-level tournaments. Maybe they're all like this. But anyway, okay, last round. Alice got a draw. Wait, and Carissa won yesterday. Yeah, I remember that. That's why it was so hyped, because I was, again, I didn't realize that these two were going to be paired up in the last round, which is awesome. Especially given the state of the tournament. But okay, the previous round, Carissa won. Alice also won. Carissa won. Alice lost. I think this was the only game that Alice lost. I think the other one she drew. Yeah, draw. Alice drew Tan Zhongyi, which was an amazing result. And a draw there. And in round 2, she had, I'm just not remembering the exact order. Yeah, she had a win in round 2, and then did she draw round 1 or did she win round 1? No, she won round 1. I'm forgetting everything. But with all the draws, she's only half a point behind Carissa, which is awesome. Oh, there's a move made. Okay, let's go back to the game. Queen c5, rook c4. Oh, wait, rook c4 right away. Wait, yeah, obviously. We didn't even calculate this. But this is better for white is the best move as a follow-up. Ooh, okay, this is interesting. Because before we were calculating, you know, prepping a rook coming to c4 with playing the rook to d4. But you can just play rook c4 right away. Cervantes, yeah. I feel like I actually remember that. Yeah, that it was during the American Cup. I vaguely remember that. I'm not great at remembering games, but I remember the hype around it. Okay, so moves are being played quite quickly. Was this the best move? It was among them. It was among the best moves. So I wonder if in this position... No, you can't take this knight. You're losing your rook. You can't do anything. Rook b8 seems to make sense. Because this knight is either going to be captured or move on the next move, and you want to give a check. And frankly, there aren't a lot of good places to move the knight. I think you have to go to e4. I think you just have to. Yeah, that's the only way to retain the advantage. And now... Okay, this was my first thought. What if check here? Can you give this check? No, this is bad. I guess you're just kind of removing defenders around your king. Oh, that's not good? G3. Okay, that's what I was gonna play at first, but whatever. Now just a6. Yeah, when you start seeing these kind of moves, you either have a really good position, or a really drawn position, or a really lost position. There's no, like, there's no really in between. It's very extreme. But after rook b8, what is actually the best move? Just knight e4 right away. Oh wait, no, we calculated this. I meant after this move. Now rook b8? Yeah, repeating. h4. So if takes, you take with the queen? What about this, though? What am I missing here? Queen e7. You're attacking this. And you can't take with the rook defending because you can take with this rook, and then you still lose it. That's interesting. I'm sure you see this if you have the time to sit there and calculate it, but this does not seem like a very intuitive move to me as a humble 2000 on chess.com, 2100, excuse me. But we will never underestimate her. This just seems so scary. So frankly, like, you might see, like, I would just never play that in the first place, but that's why this whole idea, you have to see that retreating move in order to even consider playing h4. You have to see that I can do this, I can take the pawn, I can kind of like dismantle this whole structure around the king, and after f5 I can just go back and it's fine because that pawn is no longer defending the bishop. But if you don't see that, you're not going to even consider playing h4. Or you might consider it, but you might discard it if you don't see the follow-up. It's like, okay, now what would I do as white? They're saying knight g3, but I feel like I would sooner go here. No, they hate that. Oh, they hate that so much. Why? Why? Bishop f8? Oh, your queen is trapped. Oh. Whoa, okay. That's good to know. I did not even consider that that might be the case. Yeah, there's like all these squares are blocked. I was just trying to come up here and like, you know, cut off this square, maybe like throw in some checkmates, you know? Or try and tempt this bishop to trade off. Good thing I'm not playing this game. But this isn't even in the actual position. This is actually the position, I believe. Or have there been more moves? Wait, this move. Okay, we're at this point. Yeah, Ellis is starting to speed up a little bit. So I guess the only potential issue would be if this queen can get trapped. But I don't think it can unless she cuts off some escape route here. So I assume this move is to protect this piece so that f5 will be playable. Maybe even tempting like here. No, that doesn't work because freaking whatever. Wait, why can't I play this? Oh, because I just moved. Wait, why couldn't I play this before? Oh, I was trying to... Okay, sorry. This is what I was trying to get to. You can't go here because of this. This is all I was trying to illustrate. Just, you know, trying to show you the stupid moves that you shouldn't play. So now what are you supposed to do? It likes knight g3 a lot. Why is it showing the plus 1.6 above the plus 1.8? What is happening? Okay, now it's plus 2. Now it's plus 1.6 or 1.8. Now it's plus 2. Maybe I should take a page at a chess dojo and just not use the engine. Our masters say to analyze top player games and you'll get better, and there are so many top players they don't understand whose games to analyze. That is fair, and I actually thought this way for a long time. And honestly, I still kind of do think this way, that it's not worth, like, using the top players' games to actually learn from, because there's so many of them, and they're so high level that, you know, anybody intermediate or below is not going to get everything that they need to get unless they have a book explaining every single move, or a coach explaining every single move, or a video or whatever. But to like just go through Grandmaster games, I think is really tough, unless you do have a book. And for example, I have like these books, which I was talking about last time. They're the trends Trends, which I don't think they're published anymore, but just like curated game collections in a specific opening, which I've started using recently, and not like going super in depth into all of the games, but just like kind of getting the vibe, because I started to learn the Sicilian, and then I was like, okay, I'm 10 moves in and I don't really know like what I'm supposed to do now. And by going through like, you know, 50 Grandmaster games, you kind of see the general plans of like, okay, these are the weak squares that they like to, you know, move all their pieces towards. These are the ways that they maneuver their pieces. Like, these are the squares that they want their pieces to end up on later in the middle game in general. And you start to kind of see the general plans. And I think that especially works if you follow like one specific, if you find a player that you really like and you follow like their game specifically, which you can do on chess.com or Elite Chess or wherever, or like Chess Base if you're fancy like that, or you can just find a book. But I do think the problem with a lot of books is that they are sometimes curated in a way where they're just like, there's a lot of brilliant moves, and it is often very hard to understand the sacrifices. Yeah, it's like these very abstract ideas that, I don't know, it's just, you just have to spend so much mental energy. Which is why I don't even like, I literally will just play through the game on, like on my board and just like kind of think about it a little bit. And I generally, unless I really like the game or I'm like really wondering about a move, I generally don't even look at it with the engine. I'm just like, oh, okay, that's an interesting idea. Ooh, okay, we have a move. Rook d2. Mistake, according to chess.com. Wait, guys, if Alice makes a comeback, that would be insane. I assume the idea is here and just trade off rooks. But why is this a mistake? Okay, bishop takes a2. Rook d8. This is still winning, by the way. I don't know why they said it's a mistake. And now queen... Where should we put our queen? I mean, here seems good. The evil bar agrees. Wait, but they can take this. Then you probably have like... here? Nope, that's wrong. Oh, because you have check. You have check, of course. Ooh, knight g5 check. That's pretty nice. So the idea is not just attacking the rook, you're also attacking this f5 square. Wow. Trends, is that like the opening encyclopedia? I don't know. I just have those little booklets and it's called Trends Publications. And I mean, they are specific to opening, so I guess probably. Do I have a chess repertoire or do I just play everything? No, I'm definitely not good enough to just play everything. I have general ideas of what to do in most basic openings, but I definitely have a specific repertoire that I stick to, which is the London for white, mostly. And now I've mostly been playing the Sicilian, but I also used to play the French and I still whip it out sometimes. I actually play a lot of things as black. Like sometimes I'll bust out a Scandi just for the fun of it. Which I had a recent video where I said these are the best beginner openings, and then I told people to play the Scandi. People were not happy about that. I was like, but guys, it's fun. It was like my most controversial take, telling beginners that they should learn the Scandi. I'm like, you don't have to play it perfectly. You need to know like 2 moves in the Scandi, and then you just need to develop your pieces and not get your queen trapped. It goes against principles. I mean, the only principle it goes against is moving your queen out. But listen, hot take, I think it's good for beginners to learn how not to get their queen trapped. If you play the queen A or queen, what is it? Queen A5 Scandi, you gotta learn real quick what a discovered attack is. And then you just gotta develop your pieces. You don't have to know theory. Yeah, it's John Bartholomew's favorite opening. I wonder what if he recommends it for beginners. I know he's made like a bazillion videos and courses on it, but anyway, guys, I'm gonna take a hot second to run to the restroom, but I will be right back. Because we're about to get into the thick of it. The Catalan for beginners is very funny. Welcome back, guys. Sorry for the delay. Had to check on something. All right, where are we? Alice has not moved. I don't think. Oh wait, no, she has. Wait, why is it not updating? Oh my gosh, so many moves have been played. Okay, King H7. Avoiding any back rank ideas. Wait, she's doing my idea. Just in a better order because the king came forward. Am I secretly connected to Carissa? Yep. Okay. So knight checks. Ooh, king comes forward because I think otherwise you go here. I would imagine. Okay, so she's just rerouting like a madwoman. Love to see it. And this is where we are. Okay, so we're gonna get into time trouble soon. Because they still have over 10 moves left to get to time control. I guess it won't be too horrible of time trouble. Wait, so coming forward was bad. But what if she'd gone back? Oh, wait, this is a mate. Wait, how is it a mate? Oh, because you have check. Okay, wait, so what else are you supposed to do? Oh, just take it. That's your other option. No, that's also bad. So our three options are come forward. And, I mean, frankly, Carissa kind of lost the advantage here. Lost some of the advantage. But I guess she probably calculated that the other two moves were extremely good for her. And this one isn't terrible for her, it's just not as good as the other ones. Okay. I don't know, guys. I might smell a comeback. Maybe not to a win, but maybe to a draw. Which would also be good for Carissa, frankly. Which we've already discussed. I need to get this so that it auto-updates. I don't know how to do that. Was it because I was in analysis mode? I don't know. I'm so confused. It was auto-updating before. Wait, okay, so now what? Rook b1 check it wants? So now Alice has to be very accurate. And then go after these pawns, I guess? Knight f8. Oh, so she's just forcing trades. Because the only other option is this, and I think you'd probably just get mated. Yeah. Oh, knight e6 check? I mean, g4 it also looks really nice. But it's a mate in 9? Okay, no, or a mate in 17 with g4. So she basically has to take this. But this has not happened yet in the game. Oh, okay, so Alice needed to play rook b1 check there, but instead she went to c8. Why? To be fair, this does kind of make sense because she's just trying to avoid like back rank stuff. Now a4 is a good move. That means your position is solid. So weird. It's so strange that this knight is just sitting here and it's just like untouchable, but it also cannot move anywhere. I guess it could go there. No, wait, I don't think it can go there because then you get your queen trapped. Yeah, so it just can't move. But it's also untouchable. So I imagine the reason that Carissa rerouted the knight to here was just to maybe defend that square and then also like threaten these kind of things, but Have moves been played? Rook e2. Okay, this is actually what I was going to recommend because she wants to get her knight out of here. And also threaten this fork. But it's a miss. I don't know if I stand by that, chess.com. That seems very reasonable to me. The move that you missed is a4. But somehow this is drawing because of rook d6. Oh. You basically have to play knight check. What was the other option? Rook takes e6. Still wanting these weird sacrifices, but this just seems so natural. And Alice would have to play this. And I mean, okay, you have the rook and the piece versus the queen. And then you have the two rooks. What is the protocol here? What is your plan? Like, does Carissa want to trade off the pair of rooks and then just play against the rook and the piece? Because I mean, I don't know. Like, I would just try and like secure these pawns and then try and get this rook involved and maybe even get this rook involved and maybe like, I don't know, start giving some checks. But I feel like this could turn ugly quite quickly. But this has not happened. This is where we're at. I need to keep an eye on when they're moving because it's going to be faster now. Oh, by the way, I think my video just went out. Listen. If you've stuck around this long, shameless self-promotion, because this took me like so long to make this thumbnail. So what would be really nice is if you open that link, muted the tab in the background, or you could just watch it, I guess. But if you don't want to watch it, just give me a view. That'd be really nice of you to do. Because look how insane this thumbnail is. Actually, never mind. I'm not gonna... Oh, that's probably fine. Look at all those... You can't even see it. I copied and dragged all of those little brilliant symbols onto my thumbnail. It took so long. So you should reward me by giving me a view. And you know what? Like, comment, and subscribe too. Okay, so anyway. What is Alice gonna do here? Rook g8. Rook g8 is another possibility. Or bishop. Like, I feel like you just want to like move. My tendency is to just move your rook out of here somewhere. Not to there, obviously, because you're also getting forked. I guess rook d6 kind of makes sense. Because, I mean, okay. Tournament standings aside, I think Alice would still be very happy to draw this. I mean, with being down a queen. She's not technically down a queen, but being down a queen for a piece and a rook. I did show the thumbnail, you just weren't looking. It might have been blurry, but it was there. I think I said I was gonna post a full video every week this summer. That is not happening. But it will be every other week. And I do have shorts that will come out in the in-between weeks. What's my FIDE rating? So I don't actually have a FIDE rating. I have a USCF rating, which is like 1630 something. But I don't get a chance because I live in the Midwest United States. I don't get a chance to play FIDE rated tournaments. Really ever. They're quite expensive to travel to. But someday when I'm better, I will start to play in the open sections. Oh, we have a move? Wait. Rook d6. Alright, let's go, Alice. Trying to hold it together. I mean, anything can happen in time trouble. And Carissa is the one who's down 7 minutes. They still have... it's move 30, so they still have 10 moves left until they get extra time. So we could see a bit of a scramble. I also like how this move is threatening this. Maybe it doesn't really do much, because this knight's gonna move anyway. I mean, it just has to. Maybe, could it move here? No, that's really bad. Bishop f8. Oh, okay, yeah, that's really bad. Wait, what if... Wait, if you go here... Oh, it's check, that's why. I was like, aren't you still just getting your queen trapped? But you're not. Wait, but what if the queen moves? Or the king moves? Wait, now what? Before. Oh, and you're kind of in ginormous trouble here. Queen takes d6? What? Wait, what if takes? You have check? Here? Mate? Oh my gosh. That would be insane. Okay, wait, no, she's not gonna play that. We're still on rook d6. I should do a road to 2K USCF. Yeah, I would love to do that. I just wish I had a chance to play more tournaments. But that is kind of my next goal, is to get to the expert level, which is 2000 USCF. Okay, she played it. She played the right check. Now Alice has to take this here. She can't get sidetracked and think, oh, I'm gonna trap the queen. And, you know, who cares about king safety? No, okay, she saw it. She takes. Rook's gonna take. Very good, very good. And now Carissa still has the edge, but it's not as clear. Okay, Alice moving quickly. And, ooh, okay. I feel like rook, I feel like you have to go... Wait, your queen's about to get trapped. Wait, how do you get out of this? Rook d5, it says. Oh, because of this? Wait, but you can... Oh, okay. I had to see it. I couldn't visualize it. You know what? If you'd given me 30 seconds, I could have visualized it. I'm giving myself that one. That is tough though. Wait, okay, yeah, what else do you do here? Because if any other move, it's just back to a drawn position. Like here, just rook e8. Maybe she would want to try like... like this or something. And then check. Just king g7. Can you give check? I'm starting to lose it. Just back, and now you're actually trapped. You're just actually trapped. And then you have this endgame, which is not what she wanted at all. Okay, she found the brilliant. Dude, this is 2 brilliants from Carissa. This is crazy. So she saw the sequence. I guess this does make the most sense. Like, you need to find a way to get your rook out of dodge so that your queen has room to move. So what if rook e8 now? Now this is bad because you can give check, of course. I was looking for ways to move the queen, but you can just give check and then you win everything. Okay, so you won't play this. Surely rook takes... Yeah, okay, she plays rook d5. This is all been played. This is all according to plan. This is on the board right now. Unfortunately, it does kind of ruin the pawn structure. In fact, I think she's just going to lose a pawn here. It ruins this nice structure she has. Oh, what a heartbreaker it would be if Carissa ends up drawing. I mean, it's not really a heartbreaker because she's still going to get the norm if Carissa draws this, but I mean, to have such a dominant position and then just like a few inaccuracies and it kind of flows away. I mean, they both have over 90% accuracy. Like, it's so minuscule that the way it just kind of chip, chip, chip goes back. And those are like the most frustrating kind of games. As somebody who does not play at this high level, but has had some decent games over the board. You're just like, where did I go wrong? I felt so winning and then like it just wasn't all of a sudden. All right, so she's gonna take. That much should be clear. Although maybe she waits and just like kind of improves the position. Like, could you play, I don't know, c4 or something? Maybe not c4, but like, I don't know, just any of those pawn moves. Engine's recommending a4. I was thinking of f4. You play f4. I was thinking like here. Oh, this is really bad. Takes. Oh, wait, yeah, I'm dumb. Okay. Again, this is why I'm not playing the game. This is why I'm just watching it. Anyway, g4, c6 was played. Let's make sure we're catching this out that's happening. We just talk about it and visualize. That's an interesting like overload tactic though with like, oh, okay, she moved. King h2. All right, yeah, just slowly but surely making improvements. And black is going to lose that rook regardless. It's just a matter of like the exact right moment to take it. So I guess the idea here was that she wants to defend this because if she just takes, like this is under attack, this is under attack, and this is under attack. So you're just losing something, I guess. And she'd probably rather save this one. Although, I don't know, like this could be a problem if this pawn goes away. So yeah, I understand. So now With king h2, this pawn at least isn't under attack, so she has more options as far as when she takes this and the queen is attacked, like where you move your queen to hang on to this pawn. So you just got everything under control, just being very patient. This is good stuff. Good stuff to learn. Don't just take it just because you can. And I mean, likewise, like Alice just needs to hold everything together as well. She cannot afford to lose either of these pawns, because I think if one of these starts to go, it's gonna be over. But this will be an interesting endgame because it'll be a matter of coordinating the pieces. So coordinating the queen to like be able to overpower the rook and the bishop. They still have 4 moves to time control, but I have a feeling they're not going to get into the exciting time trouble I thought they were. But that's okay. So now I wonder if the plan is to keep improving the position from White's perspective, or just take the rook. Okay, what did Alice play? H5. Okay, that makes sense. I feel like just F3. Or just take this. I mean... G takes, bishop takes, queen... like C4 maybe? C4. I guess... maybe the idea is like, oh, I guess you can't really, maybe you can afford to give this up, but I was thinking like general plan, rook comes over here and like tries to make something happen with the king kind of trapped over here, but this just kind of negates that entire plan because first of all it comes with check, and second of all, like, I think this will just be faster, this pawn running, and you can always use the queen to like give a well-timed check to stave off Black's attack, I think. There might be some nuance that I'm missing, but I think that would generally be the plan. It's so interesting because if I was playing this game, that's what I would be worried about. I'd be like, oh, what if the rook comes over and like starts harassing my king? So I would just play F3. But that's not even one of the top moves. Probably because it's like leaving this whole thing open. And allowing them more time to start pushing. Like, you just have to take this at some point. The position has been improved enough. You need your queen to be able to move around and do things. They can't be stuck just defend or just pinning this. I guess not from there. Just pinning. It needs to take a more active role, you know? But okay, Carissa's got 10 minutes left. She's got to figure this out pretty quick. And it's inching closer and closer to a draw. At least according to the evil bar. Alright, she takes, bishop will take, and then the question is, where's the queen going to go? Queen e7. That also seems reasonable. You're attacking some pawns, or you're attacking a pawn. Actually, the a pawn. I just noticed this picture of Alice is so funny. It's Maybe it's more recent, but I feel like she looks very different now. This looks like from when she was much younger. You guys can probably barely see that, but gotta get that updated. She's 15 now, you know? She's not a little kid anymore. In the chess world, anyway. She's playing with the grown-ups. And she's holding her own. I mean, if she makes this comeback to a draw, that would be so impressive. It really just comes back to that whole believing in yourself thing. Because she knew what she was doing when she gave up her queen. It doesn't matter what all the commentators are saying. She knew exactly what she was gonna do. And either she thought she had no other choice, or she thought it was somehow better for her. Or like equal for her. I do wonder what the mindset is. Wait, this was my move I was gonna play and it's a mistake? Queen c4. Now it wants h4. I thought this move made so much sense, though. I mean, you're defending your pawn. That's why I was a little bit confused about queen e7, because you give up this, like, sure, you win the a7 pawn. But you give up this pawn, and then this guy just gets to run all the way. It's not that far away. And there are situations where you cannot stop it. I mean, frankly, even if you have to give up your queen for the rook, there's probably an argument to be made that Carissa might still be able to draw that position, being down a bishop, but it's harder. It's much harder. So why is queen c4 wrong? h4 doesn't seem to tell me the whole story here. h4, a4, let's just follow an engine line. Rook c7. See, now it's back in white's fit. See, I don't trust this one bit. I don't trust it. I don't believe it. There's not some like immediate follow-up. Queen a4. I mean, it like instead of queen c4, that would have been another option. Yeah, I feel like even maybe that would have been better. Maybe that's what they initially wanted. Queen a4. Yeah, top engine move. Because then you get the best of both worlds. You're defending the c pawn and you're attacking the a pawn. And what are we gonna do about that? Rook c7? You just played here, maybe? Rook e7. Oh. Yeah, then it gets tricky with like the rook infiltrating, I guess. But I can understand why this was the better move. It's doing more things than just this. But I also understand from Carissa's point of view why she wanted to play that. Because it's blockading this pawn from moving forward. This will be interesting. I'm curious if this will go all the way to an endgame. Okay, f6. As we're already kind of in the endgame. Like how far into the endgame? Now it just wants a4. What about like queen a6 though? Let me test out my silly move before I look at the actual move. Now rook e8 again. I can take this. They go here. I go... Wait, I'm defending this. I go a4. Oh, and I just run that baby all the way home. Maybe. Was there more moves played? I'm so worried I'm gonna miss moves. Okay, so now h4 or a4 are better. Is h4 to fix the pawn on white? Oh, I guess that might make sense. And then the idea would be to like bring the rook in and try and attack it, or do a breakthrough. Which is kind of what I was concerned about earlier. But I think, like, Alice's plan now is just to, like turtle, basically. Like, just hide away and just not lose. Which is what I try to do in all my games. Just not lose. Doesn't always work out for me. But hey, you know, sometimes it does. But when you're down a queen, it's so scary. I have been in these kinds of imbalanced positions before, and like, obviously, these players are so much better than me, and they have way more experience than I do. But just like having that kind of imbalance is like so strange mentally. Like, it's such like a thing you need to overcome mentally. But I think a lot of them are just more comfortable playing in these like weird imbalanced positions. Again, because they're more experienced. But I mean, if I'm black here, I'm like scared. I'm like, dude, I'm down a queen. Even though I have a compensation, but no fear, Alice is just gonna tuck her king comfortably away. This is a missed win. It's interesting, for both sides they want h4 to be played. Like, now h4 is good because it opens things up. And now your king, like, where's the turtle shell? It's not there anymore. And if this... I mean, I would go there, but that, I mean, doesn't really do much. It really wants a4. I think the general idea is that this pawn will become such a liability that you can possibly just like tie black's pieces down to it and then get your king involved and just like make a breakthrough another way. But it doesn't really work that way if this pawn like moves forward itself, which is what the engine wants. It wants a5. But the longer you wait to play that move, to play a4, I mean, it's just like delaying the ultimate plan that you need to go for. And if black doesn't play a5, if they play like, I don't know, c5, then you just keep marching forward, and like the closer our pawn gets to this guy, the worse it is. Because this pawn is not, it's not going through. It's just not. Oh my gosh, and Carissa's down to 5 minutes on the clock. She's gotta figure this out in 5 minutes. Still has 2 moves left to the time control. Ooh. Not as simple as you might have thought like an hour ago. Not quite as simple. Okay, she moved. All right, she finds h4. This is good. That's probably why she spent so long calculating, because it does look kind of weird to like open up your own king, but it's better to open up Black's king. Man, I feel like I'm missing so many like probably interesting variations just because I'm not that good at chess. But I'm seeing, I feel like we're getting the general plans. And listen, I'm not trying to be a grandmaster commentator here. I'm trying to be the common man, the common woman. It's just a watch party. We're all trying to learn here together. Oh, did we reach time control? I just saw the clocks change. Yes, we did. Okay. How are the other games going, by the way? Event. Okay, we have one draw so far. Between Harika and Alina. This one is looking like it's gonna be a draw. Not that I really trust these little engine bars because, I don't know. They're not always that accurate. But BB Saria looks like she might pull off a win here. And the time trouble is kicking in. Okay, she made a move. Anyway, back to USA, USA. Where are we at? Nothing else has happened. Oh, I have a feeling they're gonna be thinking again for a while. That's the problem with these time controls. It's like 2 rounds of adrenaline in the space of like an hour. And this game could drag on for so much longer. Alright, chat, put in your predictions now. Does Carissa manage to win this? Or do you think it's gonna be a draw? Or are you an Alice believer and you think Alice will somehow pull off the win in this position that is slightly better for Carissa because she's up a queen? What are we thinking? I personally feel like anything could happen. That's such a non-answer. I don't know. If I was playing this game, who would I prefer to have? I mean, I would definitely prefer to have white. But would I be playing for a draw or a win? That's a dumb question because I'm always playing for a win. Wait, I didn't even see this move. Now queen g3 check is the best move. She plays it. Solid. You want to see a draw. I would... Yeah, I feel like I would also be happy with a draw. It seems like... Well, I was gonna say it seems like a fair result, but Carissa was winning so much. She just kind of let it slowly slip away. And to be fair, she's still technically winning, but it's just very hard. Because like dropping pawns like that, now the C pawn is gonna just become a monster, I feel like. I feel like you gotta be accurate. But king f7 is the move. And with the problem is with these pieces, like you need to coordinate them in such a way that on every single move, you need to look at all of the queen checks and make sure that you're not getting forked somehow. Or that you're not, like, moving your king in such a way that, you know, 5 moves from now it might be a fork. It's just, it's scary. Okay, so now... Oh, I was gonna say, Carissa has to find... What was that move? Queen e3? Oh, I guess just to go after the pawn? Okay, they're saying this is worse. The engine gods that be are saying this is worse. But it is making a bigger threat. It's attacking a rook. A rook is worth more than a pawn. And it's also threatening... also threatening the h-pawn. So you're actually threatening 2 things instead of just 1. In fact, you might even be threatening 3 things if black isn't careful. Like, this check could be devastating. I don't know. So maybe you have to defend with, like, rook h8? Is that crazy? Or maybe you actually don't mind this because you eventually would have rook h8, and because the queen and the king are on the same file, then you might win the queen? And then it would be really hard for Carissa to win. Then Alice is actually playing for a win. I doubt she would miss that, though. But what I'm saying is, technically, maybe this isn't actually a threat. But they have to calculate and figure out if that's actually the case. Yeah, because like rook c7, which I assume was the best move to prevent this. And then takes maybe here, and you're threatening this. Queen f3. Man, you just have to be so careful. You're getting checked. Just into oblivion. I mean, oh wait, probably not that one. You get my point, though. I mean, this pawn is still under attack. But maybe now black just kind of needs to consolidate, like go back to c7. No, because then this pawn is hanging. I don't know. It's still saying it's drawn, but... yeah, it becomes quite sharp. All right, Alice finds rook c7. This is good. All right, Carissa has no fear of her queen getting pinned to her king. She knows she can move it out of the way, and she knows that the follow-up checks don't do anything. So actually here, not going back, but actually bishop g6 is the best move. Because you don't really want your bishop out in the middle of nowhere, because again, those checks that can pick up material, like you want all your pieces kind of clumped together. Or at least defending each other. This much I can tell you. But Alice has a while to figure out how she wants to defend here. If she goes bishop g6, which she does, this has been played. Man, these games are so crazy accurate. I would not be this accurate. I'll tell you that right now. It's just so interesting to me that like 90+% accuracy when this kind of imbalance exists on the board is like a thing. I think I just don't understand how accuracy works. Okay, this is what I was gonna say. I think this is the best move because otherwise you just continue to get attacked, like if it went to like b7 or something. But now we should talk about plans, because what is the plan here? I assume Black's plan is wanting to push c5 and like get this pawn rolling. F3, sure, F3. But the problem is the black king just, or the black rook needs to stay on the 7th rank to defend a7. So then she has to get her king involved, I think, somehow. And the rook becomes more of a passive piece. But this is becoming less about like the concrete, you know, variations of it all, and more about like the general ideas, the long-term strategic stuff. Oh, so the king's going this way. I was thinking the king might go this way. Maybe trying to come around here? Gang up on that pawn? Or moving off the light squares for some reason. I'm not sure if there would be a specific reason for that, but maybe. Maybe there's some situation where she just doesn't want the smoke of a check along this diagonal. But I assume the plan is just come down here and win this pawn. Because you've always got this in the bag. So I'd assume the next move is like just king g3. Engine wants a3, which is crazy because for so long it was just screaming for a4. I don't really understand why a4 doesn't work now. I mean, it's still fine. Everything is just kind of fine. It's like slightly better for white. But it's not dominating the way it was a while ago. Ah, I keep getting out of this mode. Go here. King g7. Like, my immediate intuition is just king g3, hang on to that pawn, get off of the 7th rank. Oh, she plays a4. Finally. Finally. We were begging her to. Well, I wasn't, but the robot was. The computer. a4? Oh, maybe the king move was to go here. So that, like, you know? Oh, and also, I bet f3 was meant to stop rook e4. So that this would be possible. Something like that. There's some nugget of truth in there, I'm sure. I know enough about chess. I know a little about chess. Kind of. So now I wonder if the plan is like here. I wonder if Alice will have to give this pawn up. The problem is with these imbalances is that there are situations where they can get quite sharp. And not that they're anywhere near time trouble, but they're playing a rapid game at this point. I mean, the 38 minutes to 34. They still have time, but if they spend enough time thinking. I don't know. I still can't decide where I think this game is going. I think the most likely outcome is going to be a draw at this point. Hello, folks. I'm just afraid they might get into time trouble and then, like... You know? Things might start to crash and burn. I could just see, like... I don't know, if Black's two pieces get too far apart from their comfortable positions here, which Carissa might tempt by starting to attack those pieces, or like leaving the king in a spot where it's vulnerable to checks. And then if Alice doesn't, like, you know, tighten it up. But there could also be situations where this queen gets in a bit of trouble, or where this pawn starts to run, you know? Oh, I'm glad you liked the 2000 video. That's nice to hear. Love to hear it. I think when this game is done, we're gonna play some more. We're gonna play some Rapid. Although I've been streaming for almost 2 hours now, which is very long for me. Yeah, that was my first video doing numbers. Yeah, it was gosh, it was so long ago. The videos I release now don't do those kind of numbers. It was the first one I ever put out, and like 5 days after I posted it, just like went chest viral. And I was like, whoa, I guess I have to like keep a YouTube channel up now. And we have been. Thanks for shouting out the YouTube channel. Yeah, you guys can go watch that one with my insane thumbnail. That took me like 20 minutes. All right, they're getting into the think zone again. Unfortunately, there's not that much interesting stuff to say about it. Should we check in on some of the other games? I said I wasn't going to do this, but... Alright, let's look at this completely one game. Oh, she's just up a piece. So how did this go down? Wow, I don't know anything about this opening. That's crazy. Bishop e3. What a move. Okay. Wait, here, why can't you just take this? And this is hanging? What do you have? This. Queen takes. Here. Here. Attacking the knight. And also this comes and runs into this. Okay. Okay, gotcha. Interesting. Ooh, brilliancy though. Wow. And now B4? Sure. Oh. Maybe like Queen F4? Nope. Queen takes. Oh wait, yeah, that makes way more sense. Okay. Wait, no it doesn't. Can you drop back? But that knight's still defended. Wow, what a, like, sequence that is. The knight is hanging for so long, but it just cannot be taken. And at the end of it all, you just end up a piece. And you continue to force the issue. Wow. Yeah, and that C pawn is just like brutal. Ah. And this is where we are. That's about how I go through master games, by the way. I'm like, wow, ooh, ah, and then I move on. How do I get back to, okay, this page. Do we have any more games in this game? No, we don't. Okay, let's look at another game. This one was drawn pretty quickly. The rest of these are looking like kind of boring draws. I guess we can look at this one. Oh, it's just a minor piece endgame. That was the opening. Okay. It's fun. These early queen moves are so interesting. I'm realizing I just like don't understand any of this. Like why are we not developing pieces here? I don't get it. I mean it's working apparently. It's actually very similar like structurally to the game we were just looking at. Okay, it takes, yep. Oh gosh, they always play these moves where I'm like, listen, I would just trade all the rooks. But I guess you just have such good control of the file, it's like it doesn't matter. You improve your pieces. That's kind of what we've learned today. You just continually improve the pieces. But they do end up just trading. And they go to a minor piece endgame. Ooh, that's a nice one. Takes, promote. Oops. They repeated once. And this is where we're at. Still waiting on Alice's move. Oh yeah, Nate is a great coach. I recently had another video with him. He's very patient, and I do like his insights. I'm sure there is so much to analyze about this position that I am just like not seeing, because to me this just seems like extremely boring. Like you just kind of... But there's probably like these deep lines that I'm sure all the grandmasters are seeing where it's then you get your pawn through and whatever. Or there's like checks or something. Or there's maneuverings. Like what happens if you go here? And queen c5. And what's rook d7? Really? take this. Rook d2. a5. Yeah, like this is what I'm talking about. Like what kind of lines is happening here? This still seems quite drawn to me. I just get the feeling that it's a draw. Although maybe I'm wrong, like maybe white tries to get this pawn through. Rook d5. Oh, you can't. Because you have this defense. That's why. I bet if you didn't have that defense and we were able to take this pawn, I bet it would be GG. That's good to know. So you have to go queen a6 or something. Yeah, and then just like anything. Like even just check, probably. I'm just trying to find ways where this could like go wrong for either of them. Certainly they have to be careful, but like... I mean, now black just stays here. Maybe even this move. Nope, this is bad. Oh my gosh, I keep doing this. I keep blundering the bishop to the queen. Yeah, maybe not that move. Okay. Okay, what about like here, maybe? Still this, still this. Maybe here. He wants queen c6. Yeah, now I'm talking about like stuff like this. I mean, you can just check, but you just kind of, you know, like what else do you have here? That's the problem. So that's probably why you don't want to trade one of the rooks off, or the other rooks, when they both had rooks and they traded them. That's probably why you don't want to do that. Because it's just more likely. Although on the other hand, if you have a certain position where, I keep talking about this pawn, but if this pawn was like way further forward, then you probably would want to trade the rooks off. Because that gives white fewer chances to check. Because now the queen is all alone and has to work alone. Does not have the support of another piece to threaten any checkmates or threaten like winning any material, like adding pressure to any squares. Like it's just the queen here. Whereas at least with the two pieces, they can kind of coordinate and work together, and you have more chances. Okay, we have a move, finally. Alice's time has ticked away. But she ended up playing, oh, and Carissa moved so fast. Okay. So we had bishop e8, queen c5, which is the move I was anticipating from Carissa, not the move I was anticipating from Alice. But I guess that makes sense. If she saw queen c5 coming, sure. Okay, now they're moving fast. I'm curious if at some point they'll just, no, they're not going to repeat. Surely not. Surely they don't repeat moves for a while. But the king is getting more active. This is another move I wanted to play much earlier, but Carissa had a faster plan in mind. See, now I feel like the draw, like, look how close these pieces are. If they just stay there and the king just shuffles, this queen can't really do anything. I mean, you can push up here, but as long as the rook stays on the 7th rank, Can't take it. You don't even have another piece to sack for it. Maybe you could come like this. That would be the only way to gang up on that piece. Or the pawn, I should say. To add pressure to the square. But I mean... if the king moves... you might have that check. Or, I mean, frankly, you might just have this. Yeah, the king probably doesn't want to go to the back rank. And also pin itself. That's probably not a good plan. But this might close off that possibility. What white does have in her favor is, first of all, time. Second of all, the ability to give checks. So at the moment, there are no checks that black can give. So it's just kind of like a hunker down situation. Oh, brave little king coming to play. King e6. Okay, I wonder... I wonder if Alice is still trying to play for the win. Or if she just thinks that getting her king active is important. And maybe wants to come over here and protect this pawn. Probably also threatening check. Like, I was just saying, she didn't have any checks, but now she does. And sure, we can check like this, but she just runs away, and now what? You just keep giving these checks, I guess? Oh, probably not like that, though. Because then you lose this. And I think this is a very crucial pawn. But I feel like giving check on c4 is needed here. And I guess Engine tends to agree. The only other move is queen c1, which is frankly a little goofy. I could also see this move being played. That's probably one that I would consider at least. Oh, I'm getting so tired. Not used to thinking at this high level for so long. At this point, I don't even know if I'm gonna be mentally up for the challenge of playing rapid after this. I wonder if I can find like an unrated blitz arena. If I play blitz, I'm gonna lose real bad, which is probably not also good for my mental, so I probably just shouldn't do that. I'll probably just run a rapid game before we end. I think my rating is 2134, something like that. Trying desperately to get back up to my all-time high, and then to 2200 again. Or not again, but for the first time. Alright, she does play queen c4 check. Best move. I think it also makes sense because it's not allowing the king to go back to f7 and hide away there. It's kind of forcing Alice's hand. So now I wonder if it's queen d5? Or queen d4, I mean? Queen d4. I mean, she can't go here because she loses this. And then this pawn runs. So she has to go back here, and then what is the grand follow-up plan? Queen c4 again? What about this? I love how sometimes you have to like repeat moves in order for the engine to actually like tell you what it wants to do. Queen d3. King e6. Queen b3. This seems like a draw to me. I don't know why it's... Queen g8. This seems like the kind of like queen maneuvering stuff that made Gukesh lose, or I mean win, or no, wait, what was the one game? What game am I thinking of where it was like he had to no, it was the game that he lost. Is not the famous table slam game, but the game Gukesh ended up losing recently. I think against Magnus. Where he like had to find a certain like sequence in order for like the queen checks to actually work, and he checked on the wrong square and then he was just losing. And it was like a very open board like this. Heartbreaking. Just heartbreaking. So with this, like, wait, what was played? Okay, so we're here. I was gonna say, I doubt they're gonna just be checking into oblivion here. But Carissa didn't even play Queen d4 check. She didn't even, like, threaten this. But I guess if you don't see the follow-up, if white just goes back, like why even test it then? So she's just getting the king more involved, giving it a little bit more space, probably ending up going after the f6 pawn. I'm starting to like white here again. Bishop g6 is black's best move. So I understand this whole idea with the king coming out is just to use the king as defense for the c-pawn. So then the other pieces are more free to move around, or at least the bishop is. And then probably her next plan is to figure out a way to secure the a pawn somehow. Possibly just with like boop, boop. And then the rook will be free to move as well. But the question is, can Carissa get her king so close into the black position that the attack will just be faster than the defense? You know what I mean? I feel like that's the kind of the general idea, is that Alice wants to free up her pieces to be able to move. So she's using her king as the defensive piece, whereas Carissa is starting to use her king as the attacking piece. Jove chess. No. Do you not see what's happening here? We're watching a game. We're not playing. This is hype. This is Carissa Yip versus Alice Lee. We're not stopping to play. We're watching the Cairns Cup finale, bro. We gotta see what happens. Nuh-uh. It's the whole title of the stream. And I will change it when I am ready to play. But I'm probably just gonna play in the pool anyway. So, sorry. Alright, we're getting closer to the time trouble situation. They're at 50 moves. There's a lot of calculating that needs happening. As far as endgame specifics. And it's much further than just these two moves. And Alice is down quite a bit on time here. 17 minutes versus 32. I mean, Carissa was the one who was on, like, the button. How do you say that? She was down on time for most of the game. That's what I'm trying to say. But now Alice is the one who's kind of fighting for it. And this is, I mean, this is the last time control. They don't get any more added time. So the question is, can Carissa pull off the win? I was listening to the commentary earlier and they were like, basically nobody wants Carissa to win. Or no, sorry. It wasn't it wasn't like that. Just as far as like the other people's placement in the tournament. Like Carissa's just gonna dominate. Or no, maybe they were saying they didn't want Alice to win. Because if Alice loses, then there are other people who might have a chance to jump into second place. Which, how are these games? I'm shocked these games are still not finished. Oh, this one's done. Oh, he lost? Oh man, how did that end? Oh, okay. I kind of looked at this already, but... Interesting. Rook lift. Sure. It's still equal. Takes. Oh, wait. Oh, it's defended. I thought it was like a pin tactic, but it's not. Alright, she really wants to trade queens. But Marie does it on her own terms. Okay, how does this go wrong? Because this is just a rook endgame. Oh, this move is bad. This is interesting. Okay, I see the idea. Rook's on the 7th. Defending the isolated pawn. Still rook's on the 7th. Ooh, okay. And suddenly you're up 2 pawns and your king is in the middle of nowhere and you resign. Okay. Gosh, it's scary how fast that can turn around. So this was the mistake. So what are you supposed to do instead? How do I... Rook b6. Oh, b6. Oh, wait. Can you take this? Okay, and you just want to trade all the rooks off and then this is like a draw. It's a theoretical 3 versus 2. And the kings just come to the center and just kind of like yell at each other. They can't really do anything. But taking is bad. Dang. Oh, she played it so fast too. She must have seen something. Or she thought she was already losing. Interesting. Or maybe she was in time trouble. I don't know. It was... Oh, it was right at move 41. I wonder if she got into time trouble and didn't realize that she'd passed 40 moves. That's really sad if that's the case. Okay, let's go back to this game. Where Alice... Okay, the lower Alice gets on time, the less certain I am that she's gonna be able to hold the draw here. I'm getting a little bit concerned. She's got to come up with a plan. Which is obviously what she's taking so much time to do. So hopefully, like, all this thinking time will be well spent. But okay. Just as I say that, she makes a move. Bishop f7. Sure. I guess that makes sense. Attack the queen, but the queen wanted to move anyway. The queen wants to go here. No? Queen c3. Two weaknesses. Or something. Okay. Okay, so now Carissa has 32 minutes to respond. Let's see if she... Let's see what she does. So Queen c3, it basically does the same thing as Queen d5 check, except it's not a check. So maybe the check just like cuts down on options, because obviously you can't go back to here. You have to go here. You have to go to e6 if this check. But if Queen c3, now you have to start thinking, okay, should I come back this way to defend the pawn? Should I use the rook to defend the pawn? Wait, you can't even go back this way because this is under attack. Oh, that's literally, it's the two weaknesses. And then after the, okay, let's just play this out. After the rook defends, then you have this move. And it's kind of over. Because we were talking about how important this pawn is. If that gets through, I mean, that it's actually over. I wonder if Carissa will see this. Because you're told, of course, you look for your checks. First and foremost. But this is like almost a fork. Because it's also threatening Queen d4. That'd be a beautiful move if she finds it. Nope, she plays a check. Okay, fair enough. She's still fine. I guess the idea of this is that if Alice's plan was to walk over here, she can't do that anymore because we're attacking the rook. She doesn't really want to block. Oh, c5 is the best move. I don't know if I love that move. It seems like we're getting pieces too far into the action when you really just want to, you know, curl up in a ball and defend everything. But Carissa just always has these checks, which could get annoying. Oops, we went too far back. Refresh. Oh, not that. I keep doing that. Oh my gosh, I keep clicking the wrong button. So then what if she comes like this? Queen c4 check. This move. I think she just has to find this at some point. Although maybe this is fine now. You have to go king e6 and then... You can just, you never win a pawn. This is so complicated. Oh my gosh. Okay, Alice found the best move, c5. We love to see it. So now there's no queen d4 check. Now there is queen b8 check. Or queen d2 check. Or like pretty much any other queen move that doesn't lose. Queen b8 check, like I said. I have a feeling Chris is going to want to play faster because now Alice is the one in time trouble. Man, it is so warm in my apartment. These lights get so hot. I might go turn the AC on. Not that it's gonna reach me in here, but I'm gonna try. I'll be right back. Before things get too crazy. It's 79 in here. No wonder. With all this fire happening on the board. Bro, how you doing? I'm good, bro. How are you? I think that chat was from like 5 minutes ago, but maybe you're still here. Yeah, this is a whole checking thing I talked about, where it's like Carissa could go for the draw here by just continually checking into oblivion. But I don't think she wants to do that. She's up 20 minutes on the clock. And Alice has to be so careful. Ooh, okay. Scary. Scary stuff. This is a threat. I guess you have this still, but... Wow, king f5. What's the idea with king f5? Don't you just have this? No, you don't. King f5. Queen b7 check. Picks up the bishop. Okay, so what's the better move? Rook d7. Sure. Now c4. Okay, so you just have to try and get this pawn going. But queen c8? Queen c8 looks pretty bad. You have to go here to hold it all together. And then you have this move. Queen c5. Queen b5. Queen d6. You win a rook. Don't go there. Queen d6. I went to d4 by accident. I was just reading it. Isn't it so nice just to have an amateur reading the engine notation? a5. Oh, there's moves being made. Hold on, hold on, hold on. What's happening? Okay, she just gave the check on d8, which is also good. I think Carissa wins this. I'm just getting a feeling she might win. Although now she is just going for checks. So if she... I don't know, if she just continually is like giving checks, they might just like... I don't think there's draw offers allowed, but they might just like repeat. They might repeat 3 times. It is quite hard to know, I feel like. At least it would be for me, as white. To know that you're better in this position. Okay, yeah, this was the only move. Now queen d3 holds a strong advantage. Or queen a5. You basically just have to find a way to like continually restrict the king. And queen d3 then also would threaten this move. Pick up this. Maybe? I mean, it's not allowing the king to go anywhere. Like this. That's what I was thinking. You pick up this pawn. I just don't want to miss anything. Wait, queen d3 was played? And rook c7, okay. We're just gonna, we're not gonna go into analysis. We're just gonna watch. Although Chris has got 28 minutes left, but she's playing quite fast. Now just, I feel like just queen f5 check, right? Oh, queen a6 is a great move. Why? King e7? And then you bring your king in. Ooh, that's nice. And once you have your king assisting with the checks, I feel like it's kind of easier to make things happen. But that c-pawn is still passed. Which is probably why Carissa just is continually checking. Because if she gives Alice a moment, then that pawn is going to start running, and it's going to be harder for sure. Not lost by any means, or not even necessarily drawn, but just sharper and more difficult. So at least the checks are forcing, and because Alice is so low on time, she has to make like very important decisions very quickly. And they're decisions that are like a matter of survival rather than a matter of like strategic or like, you know, like initiative stuff. Oh, she just gives it up. Okay, so now she's just pinning all of her hope on that c-pawn. Obviously, queen's gonna take here. Queen takes f6 without a second thought. She's writing her move down. She's double checking everything. She's gonna play it right now. Right now. Yes, sir. All right, and this is what I was talking about earlier, if you were paying attention, with the pieces being more spread apart. They're not all huddled together like they were a few moves ago. And so if the white queen is kind of able to weasel its way in there, make too many threats, That's a problem. Yeah, I think Carissa might pull this one off. It's looking quite good, but she still has to be very accurate. And she's got plenty of time to do that. So she should take her time. Now there's a lot of plans that work, which is the other nice thing. It's not just like one move that is necessarily the only move that you have to do to keep your advantage. There are a few plans. I assume general plan number 1 is just continue to check. But the other one might be to like bring the king over this way and stop the pawn like so. It's a little dangerous because your king's out in the middle of nowhere, but I mean, it's not like black can go back here and cut off this file. If we go here, they would have to, oh, imagine king moves like a knight. They'd have to come here if they wanted to cut the file off. And then you start getting into some messy stuff like this. So yeah, this is very, very hard for black to hold. Wow. Nice. Chris finds the best move in the position, at least according to my engine. But also I think this seems just like the simplest plan. You just need to stop the attacks, hold everything together, and then you can consolidate and win. You need to, I didn't mean to say attacks. You need to stop the threat, which is what this is. This is the one, like, you have to think, what is black's only hope in this position? It's that they get the c-pawn through. So if you just take a few moves because your position is strong enough, you can take a few moves to just like circumvent that. Knowing that in the back of your pocket you have some quite good checks. I mean, even if here, like, you might have like this check. I guess they could come forward, but the further this king gets away. Okay, yeah, c4. So now I think just queen c3 maybe? I just want to stop that pawn at all costs. Probably could also just continue checking. But now that the board is so wide open, you have to like consider like what color complex you want to be on, things like that. Advanced stuff. Luckily for Alice, I will say, there's not really a way to win either of these pieces at the moment. Like, there's no way to attack them both at the same time in a way that the rook would not be able to just move. Like, you could check here, but the king just comes back to defend. But the king just can't get too far away. I assume the plan is like one of these, which is why I think queen c3 makes sense, but it might be bad. Let's see. Nope, it's fine. Pretty much everything is just fine here. And like black never has time to move the king and like threaten one of these because it's, I mean, you just take. I guess you probably don't want to move the king there. Maybe there. But I think probably just check again. I don't know, maybe it is trickier than I thought. Alright, what did she play? Oh, f4. Oh, I think that was... Yeah, that was a top move. She's playing very accurately and not using a lot of time to do it, which is quite impressive. I guess the idea is like to support this kind of a check. I guess in hindsight, Queen c3 doesn't really do much because black has to waste time anyway to defend that square before pushing forward anyway, because we're just like, if this pawn goes, we're gonna take it right now. So you don't really need to blockade the pawn until there's a threat of it actually going forward. So again, just improving the position. Okay, now there's this threat. So probably a well-timed check here would do Carissa well. Queen e5 maybe. Man, the problem is, like, it's not like you can sack your queen for the rook. As much as I would love to do that. Because they still have a bishop. And you're not quite at the point where you're pushing past pawns through. Like, if black's a pawn wasn't here, and if the c pawn wasn't here, and you just had 2 pawns versus the bishop, then maybe that's a different story, but not as is. Yeah, maybe queen f5? Attacking the rook, attacking the queen? Or the king, I should say. Kind of forcing black's hand. I don't know. Oh, okay, that... Nope, it's creeping back up. We're good. I'm so curious why... Like, what is the plan here? Do you just want to check? Oh, maybe the idea is that after check here... Or check, like, I don't know, anywhere. After the king moves, after this check, you're attacking this pawn. And so you're, like, slowly starting to overwhelm this rook. And in an ideal situation, like, a check would be kind of devastating. Okay, rook check. King can just go to the d file now, though. King d2. And, oh, sorry. I feel like this piece placement is less than ideal because now things like this, I guess you still have checks, but she's gonna have to waste time. Alice is moving back to where she was before. Unless she has a different plan. I don't know. Carissa still has to find, like, just the right checks to kind of pull this together. Finish it off. Because there's a lot of things that are winning, but it seems like a lot of it is just kind of like check, check, check. It's hard to kind of know exactly what the killer blow is. Like, where's the nail in the coffin here? It's quite an interesting endgame. I would personally probably lose this against Stockfish with both colors. Just to be honest. There are certainly ways that this could go south. I don't think Carissa will lose it. I think Alice might lose it. I think there's still a chance that Carissa's not sure if she's playing for a draw or a win. But maybe I'm just bad at evaluation. And maybe she's like, oh yeah, no, I'm for sure winning. I don't know. I feel like that's a skill that's very hard to hone, which is like in the middle of a game. Like at what point do you know that you're winning or know that you're playing for a draw? It's very much like a psychological thing too. And in positions like this, it's sharp. It's hard to calculate all these checks. And she might have a vague idea that she's winning, but I mean, like queen, or I keep saying queen, king c3. Or maybe you can even afford to step onto the light square just because this isn't a thing because of the queen. Because I guess the problem with king c3 is then you get checked. And you have to go to c2 anyway. But there's no way she goes back to the e-file, for sure. She's got a plan and she's sticking to it. I will say, at least for now, Alice is managing to hold everything together. I mean, if it was White's move in this position, like this, or it is White's move. If we weren't in check in this position, this move still doesn't do anything because you move and the bishop defends the pawn. Oh, she does go king c3. That was my first instinct, I guess. The bishop defends the pawn. The king, if it's on d6, defends the rook, and the rook defends the bishop and the pawn. It's like you're not really winning anything. Now rook d3 check seems I don't know. Seems like a check. But I think you just have to go back to d7 anyway. So the point is just to force the king onto a less than desirable square, I guess, but then Carissa starts checking. And I mean, listen, Alice only has 5 minutes left. She's gotta play something. Unfortunately, it might come down to just her being in time trouble and not being able to sit and calculate everything she needs to. Of course, Carissa's position is still, like, totally winning, but there's probably more problems she could pose if she had a little bit more time to think. But I think we might be seeing Carissa get her second IM norm here. Or GM norm. Oh my gosh, how could I misspeak so horribly? Her second GM norm. And win the tournament, which is crazy. All right, she gives the check. King c2. I mean, she certainly doesn't want to go really anywhere else. You gotta stay in front of that pawn. And I think Alice just has to go back with the rook to d7. Yeah. Kind of like tossing the ball back over the fence to Carissa, being like, all right, now what? You can check me, but... Oh, okay. I like that. Just f5. Again, this whole, like, two weaknesses thing. She's eventually gonna try and, you know, distract the other pieces by trying to push that pawn through. She can probably just do it right now. Just f6. Maybe not. So finally this rook, or this bishop gets off the 7th rank. Trying to come here and check. I think you just have to go f6. Or give a check, which would be like queen b5. force the king back. Then run with the pawn? Why not this now? Oh, this is really bad now. This almost brings it back to drawing territory. Because of king d4. So you have to give the check first. Like, you have to check here for... Oh, wait. It wants king c3. Okay, but anyway, to, like, force this. Maybe this just is never a move. Maybe this is just to restrict the e6 square? And eventually you just have to go back to c3? No, it doesn't like that either. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But she made a move, so let's see what it was. Okay, she played the best move. Just king c3 right away. Great. Very good, very good. Man, we're almost at a 3-hour stream. This is crazy. I didn't even start at the beginning of the game. This is such a long game. How's everybody else doing? Okay, Baby Sarah won. We already knew about this draw. We already knew about this result. This one is looking to be a draw. Oh, this game. Right. Have they repeated yet? Not yet, but surely soon, and they're equal on time, and I don't think this pawn is going to be enough. If it is, that'll be a good endgame position to study, though. Okay, let's go back to this one. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Things have happened. Okay, so we had king c3, bishop back to f7. Alice is just kind of shuffling pieces and being like, please help me. Carissa's giving a check, forcing the king back to d6. Now the king continues forward, just restricting the movement of black's pieces. Now maybe like rook c7 seems pretty natural to me. But then maybe you have check like this. Oh, she played a move. What did she play? Rook c7, like I said. Let's see, rook c7, just queen, I don't know, queen d8? Maybe queen b8? See, but this is what I'm talking about. Like this, now as white, I'm like, oh god, like, I don't want to let this pawn through. And somehow Alice has gotten her rook right behind the pawn. Which is why I have a feeling that Chris is just going to give a check here. Also, the king is super restricted because of this nice pawn push. So this move, maybe this move. Basically force the king onto the c-file. Or to block with the rook, and now that is no longer... I mean, it's still kind of a problem, honestly, but not as big of a problem. Just gotta be careful here. Can turn around like that. But I don't think it will. I don't think it will. I think Carissa has enough time. Okay, we'll watch the clocks, but I just want to see, like, okay, what if this move? Here? Now, how do we follow this up? With king c3. Blockading the pawn. Here. Here. Let's just run through a line. To see, like, the general plan. Sure, repeating, because why not? Okay, so the engine thinks eventually Black's just gonna have to give that pawn up. What if they don't play king d4 though? What if they... Okay, sure. Like, it's such... Gosh. Miserable game to play. You're, like, basically repeating moves. So many times. I'm just, like, trying to get to the point where... Oh, we missed... a6 was played at some point. I hate that, where it like makes you repeat before it gives you like the actual the actual move it wants you to play. So silly. Alright, I think my computer's gonna crash if I go any further. But I mean, look at this this game graph. It's like just slowly working its way back up. Wow, okay, queen to h8. We did not look at this one, but I did see it in one of the top lines. See, seriously, like that line that we just went like freaking 20 moves deep into. It's so difficult to see how this is actually winning for white. It seems like black just has everything held down. And you can check into oblivion, but like, how do you actually make progress and get your pawns through? And remember, Carissa still gets her norm with a draw. So she might have a draw on the mind. But they can't agree to a draw. They have to repeat moves. I don't know. I still don't... I think there's still enough left in the position, especially with the time situation. I don't think she repeats quite yet. But she might waste some time trying to figure out, like, am I actually winning? Like, what do you do now? Do you come back here? Do you go there? Do you give this check? Do you give this check? Like, what are we doing? I would be inclined to give one of these on this diagonal. Probably on e5. I don't know why I like this one better. Probably because you have like... Oh, that's check. So wherever the king moves, it's gonna be check. So this... Oh, this is getting ugly. It can't move quite yet, but... Wow, rook d5. You can't take this because of this. Finally, we get some fun tactics again. Now a5 check, and we're back to this situation. Yeah, I don't love that. Bishop d5. Although now we have prospects of getting this pawn through once the bishop moves. I don't know. I don't know. Not quite sure. Why is this line all blank? King e4? Oh, it was just glitching out. I think I'm gonna refresh this and clear all of my... Oh, okay, we're good. Just clear my annotations. Yeah. I want my computer to die. Oh, whoa. Wait, we went like into this line. Okay, check. Here. Is this real? This is literally what I was just calculating. I guess I just have the mind of a future grandmaster. I don't know what to say. Yeah, literally the exact line that we were just talking about. Now rook d3 check. Yup. And what do? King c2? Wow, this is crazy. This is literally exactly what we were just looking at. Now I feel like queen e7 check. Maybe? Queen e7 check. f6. And you force black to give up the bishop for the pawn. Or you force them to give up one of the other pawns, the c pawn or the a pawn. I guess with queen e7 check it does allow the king to come forward to the 6th rank, but I don't think that really matters at this point. Okay, so the good news for Alice is that this little flurry of moves has given her some extra time on the clock. She's still down quite tremendously on the clock, but it's better than it was because she got 30 seconds every time she made a move. And clearly they were both calculating this exact sequence, which is really funny. I guess it did just seem the most natural. This would be such a beautiful way for Carissa to finish off the tournament in this, like, lovely, imbalanced endgame. Which would be pretty sick. Alright, Carissa. Queen e7 check. Let's go. It's begging to be played. But she's got 17 minutes left to play it. She's moving so quickly. I think she's got to keep the time. I feel like part of the strategy is to keep the time pressure on Alice. Because eventually that's when people crack, is when they need to play like any move. And the position is changing so much on every single move that they just do not have the time to calculate it. So like white's winning here. All you have to do is play decent moves, not lose, and you'll make stuff happen. Hey Boy Shack, how's it going? Folks, we're gonna finish out this game in the Cairns Cup. Oh, she just made a move. I was just gonna check on the other games. Yeah, I think this one's gonna be a draw. The other ones are finished. But of course the, you know, the game of the tournament has to go on forever and ever and ever. Okay. Just check, right? You take on h5 or on a5 with check, and you win the bishop. Unless black defends it with the king. And then your pawn is also hanging. Okay, never mind. Don't do that. Oh, I want to... I just have all these ideas where I can take, and then they go here, and then I go here, and then they go here, and then I go here, and then they take, and I take, and they take. But that doesn't work because they still have a bishop and this extra pawn. Maybe if they didn't have the extra pawn, but it's still the right color corner, so it just doesn't work. I just have all these ideas, all these evil plans that will just never pan out. But this was obviously the better move. The a pawn is hanging. You can take it whenever you want. But Alice, to her credit, has deftly maneuvered her pieces so the bishop is still covering the rook. The king can step in to cover the bishop if it needs to. And both these pieces are looking at this square where the pawn wants to go. I know, 3 hours of commentary? I'm gonna lose my voice tomorrow. I never talk this much. It's not even that good a commentary. I'm just a lowly chesscom 2000, you know? We're just watching for the whole entertainment value. I mean, it's so hype. I think Carissa's gonna get her second GM norm. Okay, c3. Makes sense, kind of. Except now it's no longer on a light square, so the bishop can't defend it. Now it's on a dark square. So now the rook is going to be tied down to defending this and defending this. And I think now might be the moment to take on a5. Am I crazy? Okay, everything wins, but yeah, it's up there. It's one of the moves. Oh, I'm getting so stiff from 3 hours of commentary. I really didn't expect it to go this long. I really thought it was gonna be done in like an hour. But we carry on because it is hype. Yeah, nothing more hype than classical chess, exactly. Funny, the best move in this position is saying that it's king b1. There must be something with like getting off the light squares so you can't get checked by the bishop, but like you take the pawn on a5, you move back to the 6th rank to cover that the f pawn, then you just start pushing your a pawn. And something has to give. Something has to give. Take the pawn, Carissa. Let's go. I believe. Yo. It better not end in a draw. Now I'm just hyped for Carissa. I think she's gonna be our next female American IM. I keep saying IM. GM. Good lord, she's already an IM. Kamryn, what are you talking about? It just rolls off the tongue better. Unfortunately, there are still things that could go wrong here. Why did she not take the pawn? What is she so afraid of? I don't understand. To be fair, you can't take this now because of this. And you win. Everything. But otherwise, what does this move do? Is it just to go here? But couldn't you have achieved the same thing by giving this check? Or perhaps even this check first? Or is she just preventing the king from coming to help stop the pawn? But I still would have just... Why can't you just take it? I don't understand. This is why she's playing in the Cairns Cup and I'm watching on Twitch by myself with all of you. I'm getting hungry. But I will power through. Alright, check in on the other games. Still drawing here. How's this going? Where have we... Okay, last we looked it was like here-ish. See, the nice thing about the bishop is that it can waste time. Only move. Can't take that knight. Yeah, this is gonna be a draw. Even I could make this into a draw. Also, I could probably lose it. All right, Alice. You got 3 minutes. You gotta make a move, Alice. You have to make a move. Yeah, like, what even does she do, though? It feels like there's just no good move. It's saying, like, king d6. Like, you still are gonna get checked on e7. Maybe king c6? Then you get checked on b5. Like, I don't know. Alright, she goes for d6. Surely we have queen e7 check incoming. I think that was the whole idea. Basically force her onto c6. I guess I don't really know what the plan after that is, though. But surely there is one. Yeah, still losable with both colors. I don't know if you're talking about this game or the last one, but... I would still lose this with both colors, certainly. Against either of these people. Yeah, both. Exactly. That's the problem with these high-level endgames. I'm just like... Like, my focus isn't great to begin with when I'm playing chess, especially classical. But especially, like, how many hours is this now? 5 hours into the game? I mean, bro. And it's the last day of the tournament. Like, their focus is at an all-time low. But I do hope they figure it out soon because I'm getting tired. I can't imagine how they're feeling. I'm getting tired just watching it. Ugh. Alright. It will happen, and we will cheer for Carissa when it happens, but I would love it if she made it happen a little bit faster. I mean, I was saying on the last move, like, what does white, or what does black do in this position? But now it's like, what does white do in this position? Saying queen d8. Just interesting. Just continuing to restrict. Probably, again, threatening the a5 pawn, which I would have already taken if I was playing this game. But I also wouldn't be in this position if I was playing this game, because I would have lost many, many moves ago. Alright, see ya, Boychak. How's the other game? Let's check in. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. Still going. All right. Still in progress. Everything's in progress. We're gonna make it happen. Is that a dog or is that my phone? I think it's a dog. You guys probably can't even hear it. Oh, wait. She's going back? Wait, this doesn't... No! No! No, Carissa, no! You can win this! It's winning! There's only one way. She has to go queen e7 again. Alice wants it to be a draw, to be very clear. She wants to secure second place. I think she'll just have second. Wait. Okay, they repeat it again. Is she gonna repeat again? I mean, it would be fair. Okay, no, she's not repeating again. Okay, now that... Oh, no. Oh, okay. Okay, they're making me nervous now. She repeated one time. Alice obviously repeated because she would be happy with a draw here. Even though she's not getting her norm. But she just doesn't want to lose. But Carissa... I don't think Carissa knows what to do. I mean, I don't either, to be very clear. I'm just here eating popcorn and watching the eval bar, but... apparently this is bad? Who knows why? Do you have to go... oh my gosh. Now it's actually gonna be a draw. No, I was so... I mean, Carissa still gets her norm. She still gets the norm. So it's fine. But it was just showing us winning for so long. To be clear, when we went through the, like, the top line that it was recommending, even I couldn't figure out, like, 20 moves into it, they were still just, like, repeating moves and just kind of shuffling pieces around, and somehow it was still winning for white. So it's really, like, engine lines. But for a human, like, it's hard to see how to break through here. Everything's defended. You can't push this pawn because that square's attacked twice. It's not like you could take this and you can check here, but then they get in and start to get this pawn, and then Alice might be playing for a win. So, like, I would be looking at moves like this just to prevent this king from getting any closer, but then, oh, then the king has... Oh, I don't love this. I don't love this. I think she thought that she just could continually check. But if she allows the king to get any closer, then things start getting a little dicey. Oh my gosh, imagine Alice turns this around. She has 4 minutes on the clock. This would be insane. This would be the hypest game all year. And then Carissa would slam the table and the clip would go viral. Oh man. I mean, she's down to 10 minutes. They're both getting into like blitz territory. It's technically like rapid territory, but in classical, 10 minutes feels like you're playing blitz. She's like slowly, the time advantage is slipping away. All right, what's our top move here? King C1, which seems very counterintuitive. Because what if this? Wait, now it's winning. Why? Oh, the bishop is hanging. Wow, my brain is like not functioning at a high level anymore. Not that it really ever was. But what if she goes like here? Wait, this is also bad? You need 2? Queen B5? This is scary though. Wait, you have a mate? King A3? Oh, you're winning the bishop. Okay, it's all about winning the bishop. Okay, go back to the moves. She made a move. Okay. Sure. They're both giving up their pawns, which is an interesting choice. This is what I'm saying. Like, things can turn around just like that in a snap. So check. Surely king takes on c3. I mean, that's the whole point. Take on c3, and then it's like, it's actually a draw because then the rook just continues to check. I think that's the case. Yeah, rook takes. Obviously the bishop is pinned, so it couldn't take. And now Carissa, gosh. She decided to simplify, which is fair. And what I was talking about earlier, how like wondering if she actually knew it was a draw. I'm still curious about that. Like, did she know it was winning? Did she know it was winning, or did she still think it was a draw, like from the start? Like now I feel like you can just afford to, oh, yeah, this is scary because, like this, if the king stays on this square. She has to play rook d7 to hold the advantage, otherwise Carissa's winning again. Ugh, stressing me out. Even though it's actually probably just gonna be a draw now. Famous last words. Alright, she finds the move. Only move. Check. I think they're gonna repeat soon. I think. The eval bar is slipping closer and closer to just zeros. Alright. So the bishop can move anywhere and it's a check on the king, but it doesn't really matter because there's nowhere that the bishop can really, like, attack anything. A rook and a bishop are really just a queen if you think about it. That's true. That is true. And we were talking earlier about the what's it called? Just the imbalances and like the psychology of that all. But they really both kept their composure. I think Carissa just like didn't see the win, which I didn't either, so fair enough. I'm curious if commentators like were able to explain why it was winning. Because I'm just a lowly engine reader, you know? Okay, here's what I think is gonna happen. It's gonna drop. Oh, never mind. Okay, I lied. Here's what I think is gonna happen. Wait, was that bad if she did that? Rook b7 is bad. But this is a mate? Oh, because this is hanging. Oh. Wow, aren't you glad that you're watching this commentary instead of the professionals? I guess I was looking at this position and thinking that it was defending, but in the previous position it just wasn't defending. Okay, now she's threatening to play here, win the queen, and then it's actually a draw. So if Carissa wants to play on, she's got to do something quite quickly, which does not involve moving her pawn and does not involve keeping her queen and king on the same rank. So one of those guys has to move. The question is, which one will it be? Or does Carissa just give up and be like, yeah, take it. I win the tournament anyway. Yeah, for a second there I thought there might be a chance for Alice to like figure something out, but at this point it's actually just over. It's gonna be a draw, and Carissa will get her GM norm. Alice had a great performance in the tournament, but I don't think we'll get the GM norm. But Carissa's gonna win the tournament. And we love to see it. We would have loved to see it either way. Alice had less of a chance to win, so that would have been like a great underdog story, but I mean, we're always rooting for Carissa Yip. She's gonna be our next GM. I believe it. All right, A5. Let's go. Or just check. Check. Yeah, I think they're gonna repeat. I've said that like 10 times now, but I actually think they're gonna repeat. I mean, she can check from any square. Yeah, D8 seems nice, because then you just have A5. And if Alice blocks... Oh wait, I forget, they can't offer draws, so they actually have to repeat 3 times. Okay, Carissa's trying her best here. Alright, that's 2. Alright, they're actually repeating. Wow, 97 moves, I think it'll be. GG's. Well done, Carissa. She held the draw. She had a chance to win, but it was super hard to see. Like, even the engine was like, what are we doing? We don't know what's happening. And the draw is official. Carissa Yip wins the Cairns Cup. Let's go. And she gets her GM norm. So that's 2. So she needs 1 more, and then she needs rating. She needs 2,500, I believe. Then she'll be GM. Let's go. All right, that took way longer than I anticipated. So I don't know if we're gonna have time to play a game. I don't know, should we? I haven't played Rapid since last week. Feels... feels rough. Okay, let me just play one game. Hang on, let me change my my title. Oh, can you see that? No, I can't. Okay. This is gonna look terrible. I need to squeeze this down. And I need to do this. And I need to do this. Something like that. Okay, good enough. Let's go. I'm gonna channel my inner Carissa Yip. Except I'm gonna play the Sicilian. I don't know, does she play the Sicilian? I think she does, actually. Oh, okay. Alright, open Sicilian. Playing quite quickly here. Castles. What is my move? Is it B5? Now I'm forgetting. I think it's B5. I do need to play faster than the game we were just watching. Yeah. All right. Let's have some fun. Oh, really? I'll try and make this quick. I don't think it's gonna happen though. I'm anticipating like bishop f4. Wait, I just have mate. Oops. That was the whole point. How many times is this gonna happen? All right, let's look at the game review. I'll show you what I was planning to do. How is that all? I made it in, I only had 96% accuracy and I got checkmate in 12 moves? Bro. What did I possibly mess up? It's probably just h5. Yeah. But I love playing that move. It's so aggressive. I was anticipating this. Sorry, I thought I had a sneeze, but I don't. And I was gonna play here. Wait, this is a blunder? Why? Oh. Wait. I'm so confused. What am I missing here? Oh, then they can play here. Oh, that's interesting. No, they can't play there. What's the follow-up? Okay, so I'm not winning, or I'm not losing a queen. I'm losing a piece, which, okay, fair enough. I should have seen. I hope I would have calculated before actually playing this. The other move I was thinking was here. It's inaccurate. What's my best? Oh. Just saying, yeah, pin me, bro. What are we gonna do about it? Alright. Well, that was fun. Gosh, that would have turned out very differently if they had played bishop f4 like I was anticipating instead of just letting me checkmate them. You guys will see in a few weeks, but I had another game end quite similarly to this that I made a video about. But this one's even better. It's even a faster checkmate. Hello, too weak, too slow. Too weak, too slow, too. Well, listen. Guys, we've had a 3.5-hour stream. It's been a good time. We watched Carissa Yip earn her second GM norm. We checkmated in 12 moves against a fellow 2100. And on that note, I think we're gonna call it a night. Because I'm hungry. I was really anticipating that game to go longer, but whatever. So let me, okay, first of all, if you're new around here, go check out my YouTube channel. I just posted a video, and the thumbnail took me like so long to do, which if you've been here the whole time, I'm sorry for talking about it again. But it was really annoying to do. But it's a cute thumbnail. Anyway, and then we're also gonna raid. Oh, do you guys want to go watch the St. Louis Chess Club? I guess that would make sense after what we just did. Go watch the interviews. Go have some fun. So next weekend, guys, I am, not this upcoming weekend, but the next one, I'm going to be at a tournament. So I'm debating, we'll see how the next week goes, how busy I am, but we may have to skip stream next week, but I'm trying really hard to stream every week as much as I can. But we'll see. We'll see. But regardless, I will see you soon. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I know it was a long one, but I hope it was hype. And I'll see you next time.